Good evening. My name is Ali Jaheem, and I want to thank you for checking in with me on my first YouTube video pertaining to mental health. On this channel, I'll be uploading videos where I discuss my own personal, um, you know, trials and tribulations regarding mental health, in hopes that somebody else out there who may be dealing with some issues of their own, may come across it and maybe hear something that'll be helpful to them in some way. Oftentimes, when it comes to mental health, a lot of us don't, we don't come forward and speak about what it is that we're going through, um, and we don't seek help, we don't seek treatment, we don't seek counseling, and because of that, we end up having a lower quality of life because of it, because it affects our life so much. So I'm hoping that, you know, through this series, somebody will get something out of it, even if that somebody is me. You know what I mean? So just to give you just a quick, background on me regarding my mental health. I was diagnosed with generalized anxiety disorder and major depressive disorder, probably about 2 years ago now, something like that. Um, I've been through about five different mental health facilities. Um, During my time there, I saw countless different doctors, nurse practitioners, things of that nature, psychiatrists. Um, and for one reason or another, they kept changing my medication up. They never found the right meds for me uh, to help with my issues. Um, the list of medications that I've been on is so long that I can't even remember everything from Zoloft, the Paxil, the Prozac, to Lexapro, a lot of different things. And that's just for the depression. I had a whole other, list of medications that came along with the anxiety, like Buspar and some other things. Um, and nothing ever really worked for me. Um, and so, as it stands today, I'm not on any medications, and I'm still dealing with my mental health issues. Um, and it's difficult, but I'm trying to find other ways aside from depending on, medication to help with some of my issues. Um, but the thing is when you do address the fact that you have some mental issues and you speak on it, and other people around you may become aware of your issues. The thing of it is sometimes is that I don't know if people truly understand, um, how hard it can be just from date on a day-to-day basis, just to try to live a quote unquote normal life when you have all these issues going on inside. Um, just just getting up every day and facing life becomes a challenge. It becomes a challenge in a way that's difficult for you to explain to other people, and other people kind of, sometimes it can feel like people don't truly get it. They don't understand that. It's like there was a quote in the Joker movie that stuck with me where he said, and I'm paraphrasing, but he said something to the extent that, um, the bad thing about having a mental illness is that people expect you to act like you don't. And when he said that, it resonated with me because I understood it. Um, it's kind of like it's like having two broken hands, but people still expecting you to be able to lift heavy objects. You know what I mean? Like it can be kind of frustrating sometimes. Um, but it is what it is. It all comes along with the journey. You know, dealing with your mental health issues. It is what it is. Not everybody's gonna understand. Um, and You got to do the best you can. But what I wanted to discuss in this first video is something that I immediately noticed the first time that I sought professional help. And the thing that I noticed was that when you seek mental health assistance, they tend to treat you more like a prisoner than a patient. If anybody else out there has had, you know, a similar experience with receiving, hospitalization and things like that regarding their mental illness, you may know what I mean. Um, what happens is, well, in my experience, I went to the hospital, just a regular hospital, and asked to speak to a mental health professional, um, because I was suicidal and had attempted suicide. Um, and so what happens is they bring you in, and they usually let you talk to like a nurse practitioner, somebody like that. Um, and what they do is they give you a psych evaluation. The psych evaluation is where they're gonna ask you all kinds of questions. A lot of them usually pertaining to suicide. Do you currently um, have a desire to hurt yourself or others, things like that. Um, Ultimately, what they're trying to do is determine whether you're stable or unstable. Now, whatever they determine is kind of like, is similar to, being found guilty or not guilty in a court of law. If they find you to be unstable, that's equivalent to being found guilty in a court of law. And the reason why is because once they find you to be unstable, um, what they do is they will place on you what they call a 1013. A 1013 basically allows the state to hold you for a minimum of 2 days. They can hold you. And once they place that 1013 on you, that's it. You can't change your mind and say, no, you know what, I don't think I want help after all. Now you are, at that point, now you're state property for at least 2 days. So your freedom is taken immediately. Um, and so that starts the whole process of you feeling like a prisoner once you realize that you can't just leave the hospital now. You're now a prisoner. So what they do to continue the process of making you feel like a prisoner, um, they take you to a room. Well, again, this is what happened with me. They took me to a special hallway, not a hallway, but a special unit inside the hospital where it's for mental health patients. Um, and once I got there, they put me in a room that was not like the regular hospital rooms. This room had nothing in it but a bed, and then it had a TV, which was behind like a plexiglass so that you couldn't touch the TV, and there was a camera in the room, so you're being recorded at all times while you're in this room. Then they have security come in, and they bring a bag in there, and they tell you that you have to put all your belongings, including your clothes, everything. You got to give them everything except your underwear, even your socks. You give them everything, and they put it in this bag, and they take it. And what they give you in place of that is like some paper scrubs, like, you know what I mean? Like disposable scrubs. They give you those to put on. And you stay in this room, and you're under constant surveillance from the video camera. And there's people right outside the door who kind of peek in every 5-10 minutes and just look at you, even though they can see you on the monitor. They look at you directly. Pardon me. And so they leave you in this room. And basically what they're doing is they're waiting to get approval from mental health facilities, different mental health facilities. They, I guess they send your file out and they try to see who is willing to accept you in their facility. Once you get accepted into one of these facilities, they have to transfer you. So again, comparing it to, uh, you know, being incarcerated and things like that, this is almost like once you've been sentenced by the judge and you're sitting in the county jail and you're waiting to be transferred to the actual prison where you're going to do your sentence. That's what it's similar to. So you're sitting there at the hospital and you're waiting for them to come and get you. They send somebody to come and get you. With me, in my case, they came and got me at about maybe 4 in the morning. And this was January. It had to be about 20 something degrees outside. Mind you, they took all of my belongings. They took my clothes, my shoes, everything. So all I have is these thin paper scrubs and hospital socks. So when they came to get me at 4 in the morning when it was freezing, they took me outside in these thin paper scrubs and these hospital socks. That was it. No jacket, no shoes. This is how they took me outside to walk into the transport van. And they transported me like that, freezing cold. Didn't tell me where we were going. I had no clue where I was being taken. No idea. Found that out when I got there. When I got to the facility, again, just keeping the whole, thing, the being incarcerated aspect of it, or the being made to feel like a prisoner by the way they treat you. As soon as I got to the facility, once I signed in and, whatever quick questions they had to ask me, one of the first things they did was to take me in the room and strip search me. Mind you, this whole process is supposed to be about me seeking out some help. You understand what I'm saying? With my mental health issues. And now I'm being made to feel like some type of criminal. You understand? So, yeah, they take you in the room, make you take everything off. Everything, completely naked. The whole, bend over and cough, all of that. Everything that they do to an inmate coming into a correctional facility. Yeah, they did that to me as well. So to say that it was humiliating is, that's an understatement. That's an understatement. But this is how you're made to feel when you seek help. You understand what I'm saying? This is how you're made to feel. So I went through that. And you start to have regret. You start to wonder if you made the right decision or not. Because now it's not in your hands anymore. It's in their hands. You're not in control of the situation anymore. They are. And immediately you realize that you don't like that feeling of somebody else being in control of your life and your situation. You understand? But at that point, they already 1013'd you. And once they 1013'd you, you cannot go home until your doctor, whoever is assigned to you, determines that, in their opinion, that you're stable. It's not about you saying, hey, I feel like I'm stable now, I'm ready to go home. They will determine whether or not you are stable and whether you can go home. So they can continue to hold you and hold you and hold you like, they did with me. I'm going to save a lot of that for the next video. This is just the introduction video. In my next video, I'll go into some of the experiences that I had in the first facility that I went to, and some of the other facilities that I went to after that as well. I'll go into greater detail. This is just the introduction video. So stay tuned and check out the next one.